Come get your first look at the new Triumvirate of Ynnead. It's this week's new release and it's hot, hot, hot. Spiky bits. What's going on, Hobby Maniacs? Rob Baer here with you again today, taking a look at this crazy, dirty Xenos Eldar. I don't even know what this is. Some sort of like demon, Slanesh kind of thing. This is the Triumvirate of Ynnead, the second, I guess, in a series of 3 box sets, maybe 4. Who knows if Abaddon gets one or something. All sorts of rumors about that. But this is the second one for surezies. We haven't got to the Primarch yet, but this one is just as good, I guess, if you're a fan of the crazy Eldar. Now, it comes in a collector's edition box again, all super nice graphics with the foil lettering and all this stuff, and you can see all of the great miniatures that come inside it. You got the Visarch, the Incarnate, and Yvraine as well, and they all have their own swords, because I guess that's just what you got to do in the Grimdark. If you're a badass character, you have a dope ass sword. I guess these guys are just basically like the 3 Musketeers of the Eldar. They all have a dope sword, and they're all just like doing stuff to like save the whole Eldar race or whatever. I suppose it's all still has not been revealed yet. Of course, I haven't even read through my new supplement book yet, so I have no idea what's going on, except for I guess eventually they show up on Ultramar and wake up the Primarch. So there is that. Spoiler alert, but not really a spoiler alert because we've seen all that. Now these are crazy models. I mean, I was looking at the sprues and the graphics and the instructions and how it's all laid out. It's just crazy. I mean, obviously very well put together, very well thought out as far as the models themselves, because you can't see mold lines and things. And after assembling the Lord of Change last week and putting that thing together, and we actually gave one away on our Twitch stream for free. Basically, everybody gets like a free entry just for following us over there. It was an incredible experience just to put it together and see how well they designed it. I was really surprised, like how they hit all the mold lines and all the pieces. You could keep a lot of the armor plates off, and it was all interchangeable. It was very dope. So here's a new piece of art that we hadn't seen quite yet, I suppose. This is definitely in the book at some point, I would imagine, but it's also on this box. And the back of the box is just the same. It's that little clock moving towards midnight, except for it says Triumvirate of Ynnead. Same exact graphic, just different lettering than we saw with the Triumvirate of the Imperium, unfortunately. But it's still really cool. This is very cool. You know, it's got this whole collector box kind of thing, so you slide it out, and then you get this box here, which we just showed you, and it does come with a really nice piece of collector's art. I think this one is a little bit cheaper than the Imperial version. I want to say it was $75 US retail. But still, you know, still kind of pricey when you start thinking about it. But when you figure you get 3 miniatures inside of it, I feel like that's not too pricey when you start thinking about it, when stuff's like, you know, $25-30 for a miniature. So I kind of like what they did with the bundling it together. Now, of course, you get the nice piece of artwork on some pretty dope little cardstock. It's not like super amazing, but it does have really good kind of graphics, like laid out, like the ink and everything on it. So, and of course it's copyright. Now I think they did some other cool little artwork pieces as well with some of the bundles and stuff you can buy on their website. And then of course it comes with the little molded plastic kind of insert tray. Now it's a lot bigger than the last one. They're not kind of locked into place because this particular one is so big. But it is just your normal molded plastic. It's kind of a neat little tray. It's a little out of box, little Ubi experience there, right? So then you've got Yvraine, and of course the Incarnate is a ginormous three little mini spruce kind of set. Then you've got actually, is this the Visarch? I can't tell anymore. There's Yvraine. Oh, Yvraine's 2 pieces. And there's the Visarch itself. So the Visarch's the smallest. Now, I thought this was a 100 mil round base, but it looks to be the 80 mil round base. This isn't the same base that the Lord of Change is on. So we're talking at least 80 mil there. Small cavalry base for Yvraine, and then just a normal 32 millimeter for the Visarch. We'll take a closer look at those sprues here in a second. But I wanted to show you the instruction manual just so you get an appreciation for kind of how it all gets together, right? So here they are, of course, together. We've seen lots of these folks here over the past few weeks, and here's how the Incarnate goes together. Now at first you're just like, this doesn't make any sense. Once you start gluing it together, as long as you're affixing the planes as such, these little blue sections, it shouldn't have any crazy overlaps or any crazy little mold lines or anything like that. It should just all go together, and the gaps will be kind of overlapped. Like if you can kind of see it in there, once you're putting it together, you'll kind of see it. I think they did it very cleverly. I was really kind of impressed with how they did it. Same here, these two pieces attach, but again, once you see it, they're kind of overlapping, kind of type deal. Now remember, you can always use Vallejo plastic putty to get in there and tighten up anything that perhaps it has too big of a gap, because you never know, if you cut in too tight, you might gap it yourself on accident, and that sort of thing happens. Vallejo plastic putty is really good. Don't use the liquid green stuff. Never had good experience with that stuff throughout the years, and I would just go with the plastic putty. And here's the crazy Dragon Ball Z hair right here, and then it goes into the face, locks into some of the armor plates and the different leg pieces on the front. Looks very simple and very easy to put together. And then you have the two different options if you want to go with the sword or the pair of daggers, I believe it is. And then more and more little twisty turny things. Almost reminds me of the Celestin Prime with how it goes together. And then more of the little thingies right there, energy empiric shards, where it actually attaches into the model itself. And then your brain's a lot simpler. It just has their like crazy gown that kind of trails out, and all the other pieces there that look to obviously overlap, and all the pieces that, as they glue in, they're gonna have natural depth and everything. Obviously around her corset right here, it's not going to be a mold line because there's going to be laces and things in here. So it's basically naturally holding this. Now you don't have to add the headdress either, and I imagine a lot of folks aren't. I personally don't like it, but I mean, maybe you do. I wouldn't attach it if I was going to play with this particular model here. And then the Grinks, and it goes right onto the base, and that's pretty much it. And there's her points. We're going to talk about that in our rulebook breakdown, but all their points are in here. You can cut these out and use these as a kind of a faux game aid to just kind of put it on the tabletop and use it to play with. And then the Vishark, again, super easy model. It's just a little bit bigger version of your normal size Eldar with your 32mm base, and then all the parts just kind of go in there. You've got the cape that goes on the back, and then the backpack, two separate little gem encrusted kind of stacks or spires right there. And then it looks like he has the built-in shimmer shield, kind of like some of the Dire Avengers do. And then there's all his rules. He's only 150. And that is pretty much the set together. And then of course they got the full color little mini painting guide. I'm sure there'll be all sorts of folks doing this both live on Twitch and also on YouTube. I have a whole bunch of tutorials from Warhammer to every other painter out there that loves to do this stuff. So there will definitely be no shortage of people painting this model. And it's kind of funny because a lot of people just finished up their Celestines and stuff like that, and now they're gonna be like, well, I guess I'll paint their Incarnate or whatever. So here's the sprues themselves, and we might have to zoom in a little bit because I know the camera's kind of zoomed out there. But here we go. Here's the Incarnate. Pardon my zoom. Just kind of get in there for you, and there you can see. Now it's got this nice ginormous Wraithbone kind of crackled apart base type thing. Ooh, I don't know what I just grabbed. Oh, it's this piece right here. Wow, that's crazy. Normally they have a sprue that comes up, or a piece of gate that comes up to try to protect against things like that. But it doesn't look, and it's weird because there's one right there, but there isn't one right there. Sounds like, and you even got one right here, but they didn't do one right there. I wonder why that was. Imagine a lot of folks are gonna have that piece busted right there. So watch out for that one for sure. This one's actually attached over here. So you can see all the empiric energies. That looks like his head right there. Yep, there's the Incarnate's head. And then you've got more empiric energies, of course, the arms and things like that, and the little icon, which still has yet to be revealed. A lot of people think it looks like an avatar icon. I think it looks like Eldrad's personal icon with the infinity symbol over top of it. Who knows? Don't know. And then the shoulder pad and things that go onto there. And then this sprue has the legs and the one sword weapon option, because remember, these are the three musketeers. They all have to have a named sword. I don't know who's D'Artagnan, but well, I guess it would be him. I guess it would be the Incarnate, right? And all the swirly hair things, swirly Dragon Ball villain hair. There you go. Jumping over to Yvraine, she's an even smaller sprue. She's got two. Like I said, contains the Grinks, little Eldar cat, shifty Eldar cat, psychic cat, of course. I mean, obviously plotting against us all secretly. There's that wedding dress with her ginormous train on the back, and then you can see the front. She is a very small model, and her blade Lots of other parts on there. Looks like a very well detailed kit, and that's her core set, believe it or not. That's just the front of the model right there. That's crazy. It's so small, super crazy. It just blows my mind how teeny these are. And then the Visarch, he's not teeny. He comes on a 32mm base, so he's got, don't tell PETA, but he's got some fur, but that's okay. We'll let it slide. And then his 2 spires on the back. He's crazy. I guess Shimmer Shield, exactly. I haven't read up on all the fluff for him. Like I said, this is always the first look kind of thing. Haven't broken down in the books. There's his 3 Musketeers sword, because everybody's got to have a sword. It's like Dark Angels. Everybody's got a sword. Bro, you can't be part of the club unless you got a sword. Did you bring your sword in the meeting? Nah, didn't bring a sword. All right, we'll go back in the webway and grab it. There's his head, and then he's got all of his other, it looks like his legs 2-part right there, which again, they do a really good job of cutting these parts out, because there's going to naturally be a gap right there where you don't even have to worry about filling it. So there would be a gap there, and that's where they put the second piece to kind of glue together. I think it's fantastic how they're designing these models. I really do. They put a lot of time and effort into disguising where there would be perhaps a mold line, or where there wouldn't be, or where there would be fake depth. They definitely go out of their way to make that work. So again, I think it's a fantastic, great release for 40K in general. Maybe not so much, in popularity of the Eldar. I know a lot of people play it, but I do know that it's fantastic that we get models like these, and they have the capability to put out stuff like this going forward. Obviously, we've seen Guilliman, we've seen Cypher, we've seen the new Grandmaster of the Grey Knights for the Third Brotherhood. They all look fantastic. So the sky's pretty much the limit in 2017 for what Games Workshop can do. The question is, what will they do next?
Deleted scenes, bonus content, and all the interviews and post-game wrap-up videos can be located in the Hall of Veterans on thelongwar.net. Visit thelongwar.net today and try a week completely free with no strings attached. That's not all. Thelongwar.net is also your hobby resource for exclusive early access with an ad-free experience to all your favorite videos. Members of the Hall of Veterans gain early exclusive access to multiple hobby videos.